her out here, this homeowner requested that we take a look at her sump pump. She's not fond of the crawl space, and hers is in her crawl space. Sometimes you'll see these in basements. A couple big things with these, people tend to ignore them. They forget that they even have them, but they need to be exercised. They should be ran periodically, and we're going to go through some of that today. But we're also going to be checking to see how the pit condition itself. Is there a lot of debris in there? And we're also going to see if that check valve is actually functioning and whether or not the float of the unit is functioning. Main thing I always check is we want to make sure that the pit is actually secure. I've gone to so many homes where either it was a bad job done before, but this pit is actually just sitting here and it's not completely filled in with dirt behind it. The next thing I always look at is the electrical connection itself. I do like to typically see these zip tied, but we do see the previous technician, whoever was out here, attempted to get it out of the way. But more importantly, we want to pay attention to the electrical down here. We don't want it in any way, shape, or form near the float itself. We don't want that to actually get caught up in there. The second thing I always check is the material that may be in the bottom of a pit. So this pit should be plastic at the very bottom, which it is, but we can see that this is just gravel inside here. So what happens is when this actually fills up with water and the pump kicks on, it has a tendency to actually suck some of that gravel up through the pump, through the check valve, and out to the yard. This can cause premature failure. It can cause failure with the check valve itself. And then finally, we're going to fill this up and we're going to actually see the functionality of the pump. Is it actually producing, pumping out the way it should and at a good flow rate? You as a homeowner, you can check the electrical connection. You can check to make sure that there's no debris in the bottom of the pit. If there is, clean it out if you can. That's going to help reduce premature failure of these units. The final thing that you as a homeowner can do, I would recommend probably doing this once a month. I mean, a lot of people forget about their sump pumps. They sit in the corner of a basement. They have a cover on, maybe in a crawl space like we are today. But to help reduce problems as far as like failure or water in the basement, carpet gets ruined, drywall gets ruined, is to run some water in these about once a month, whether you're filling it up with a 5-gallon bucket or you're filling it up with a hose. This will actually exercise the pump. This reduces the seizing up of the motor and possible rust inside it. And it just lets you as a homeowner know that, hey, my pump is actually functioning. And there she goes. And if you can hear, you can kind of hear the gravel actually going through this pipe. So that tells me right away that this should be something that should be taken care of, or the pump could have a possible failure.